Well, it's official. QPR have completed the permanent transfer of highly rated right winger Karamoko Dembele from League One club Brest for a fee in the region of €2 million, meaning at long last we have a new wide player in the squad. Having once been dubbed the next Lionel Messi during his time in Celtic's academy and having racked up 23 goals and assists on loan at Blackpool last season, Dembele is a player that many of you will be much more familiar with than any of our other signings this summer, and if you know him, you'll know why this is such an exciting transfer for the R's. So as usual, in this video, I'll be taking a look at his career to date and what kind of attributes we can expect him to bring to Queen's Park Rangers this season. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, and if you want to support the channel further, you can do so by becoming a paying member for $1.99 a month by clicking the link in the description below. Let's get straight into it. Brother of Sariki Dembele, Karamoko was born on the 22nd of February 2003 in Lambeth, London, but moved to Govan in Scotland before his first birthday. He began playing football for Park Villa Boys Club at the age of 5 and was quickly recognised as an incredibly gifted player, which eventually led to him being signed by Celtic aged 10 in 2013. His progress at Celtic was astronomical. In July 2016, he impressed in 2 youth competitions and was named player of the tournament for the Celtic under-13s at the St Kevin's Boys Academy Cup. And later that summer he was invited by new Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers to partake in a technical training session with the first team squad, aged just 13. A few months later, the wider football world would start to take notice, because in October 2016, Dembele made his debut for the Celtic under-20s, still aged just 13, coming off the bench in the 81st minute in a 3-1 win over Hearts. His inclusion was a result of multiple starters being away playing for Scotland under-19s, but a report on the Celtic website at the time noted that the diminutive playmaker didn't look out of place and played his part in the closing stages. This sub-appearance made him the youngest first-team player in Celtic history, replacing 16-year-old Jack Aitchison. Dembele's inclusion in that match caught the attention of both the media and multiple national teams. Having been born in England to parents from Ivory Coast but raised in Scotland, he's eligible to play for all 3 nations, and so from the age of 13 he has featured for both England and Scotland. He trained first with the England under-15s at St George's Park in October that year, but played twice for the Scotland under-16s a month later in the 2016 Victory Shield. 2 months later he then joined up with the England under-15s once more, coming off the bench against Turkey for his England debut with an assist in a 5-2 win. In February 2017, he would then make his first start for the England under-15s against Belgium. Dembele continued to feature for Scotland though, winning 2 UEFA development tournaments in 2017, and even beat England with Scotland that July. He's made a total of 10 appearances for Scotland up to under-17 level and 17 appearances for England up to the under-18s. Rewinding back to his Celtic development though, in June 2017, Dembele signed a youth registration contract to keep him at the club, and a year later, aged 15, he signed his first professional contract to extend his stay until 2021. 2 years on, in May 2019, after a number of appearances in Celtic's academy, Dembele made his senior debut for the club, coming on as a second-half substitute against Hearts in a 2-1 win, a result that saw Celtic celebrate their 8th Scottish Premiership title in a row, and Dembele receive his first winner's medal. He would feature in the squad again a week later in the Scottish League Cup final once again against Hearts, but he didn't make it off the bench this time. The media hype continued to grow, with L'Equipe naming Dembele one of 6 outstanding young players set to revolutionise the game. That December, he would feature for the first team again as a substitute in Celtic's 2-0 loss away at Romanian side CFR, becoming the youngest player for a Scottish team to play in a European competition. It was around this time though that the rising star's progress started to falter. His first team appearances were limited to minor sub-appearances for the next year, though his first ever senior goal arrived in May 2021, scoring off the bench in a 4-0 win against St Johnstone aged 19. It was injury that really curtailed his development though. He fractured his ankle against Bristol City in July 21, leading to an operation that October, and he wouldn't return to first team football until March 2022. His 6-minute sub-appearance against St Mirren was the only of that campaign. And so that summer, following the expiration of his contract, Dembele left Celtic after 9 years, joining French club Brest on a free transfer, signing a 4-year contract. The general consensus from Celtic was that despite his early progress, he was lacking in physicality and he hadn't been able to realise the early hype he had garnered at such a young age, and unfortunately his injuries had seen him hit a roadblock with the boys. So it was on to pastures new in France's top flight for Karamoko, where he made a total of 17 appearances from the bench throughout the 22-23 season as the club finished 14th in the league. Having failed to get himself much game time, however, last summer saw him on the move again in pursuit of regular starts, this time on loan to Neil Critchley's Blackpool. And it would turn out to be the perfect move because Dembele thrived under our former manager, amassing 9 goals and 14 assists in 48 appearances for the Tangerines in all competitions. The club finished 8th in League One, missing out on a place in the playoffs by just 3 points. And the love from the Blackpool fanbase and club alike was strong. Dembele was named the club's Junior Seasiders Player of the Season, Players Player of the Season, and Supporters Player of the Season, and he found himself 3rd in the division for most assists. So that brings us to the present, where with 2 years left on his deal at Brest, they were open to cashing in on a player that had just had an excellent season on loan, but wasn't in their own first team plans. The fascinating thing about this transfer is that QPR seem to have gone about signing one of League One's most impressive players last season entirely under the radar, with Fabrizio Romano breaking the news for the first time last Friday at a pretty advanced stage of the process. So what kind of winger is Dembele? Well, as a 5'6" left-footed right winger, on paper he has exactly what Queen's Park Rangers need right now. Flair, agility, excellent close control and dribbling, bursts of pace, an eye for a cutting pass, and strong set-piece deliveries to boot. This is the kind of tricky winger who relishes the chance to take on his man, weaving in and around the opposition and making it look very simple to do so in the process. He drives at goal and he gets the ball up the pitch, which is exactly what we're after right now. He's not even really a winger that just hugs the touchline like Smith. He's more like Elias Chair, drifting into the middle and occupying central spaces. And he found his finishing boots last season too, with 8 goals in League One, all of which came from within or on the edge of the box. So given this QPR team is still struggling to find the back of the net, it's so important that we've brought in a winger that not only creates, but has end product himself. Describing Dembele last season, Neil Critchley said he's really courageous, he takes the ball into any area of the pitch, and he backs himself. He's got real bravery. And the doubts from Dembele's critics are as expected. Some still feel that he's not physical enough, while others will question if he'll be as effective at a level higher. He also greatly outperformed his expected goals and assists by more than double last year, which some will suggest is not sustainable. For me though, it's clear that last season, with regular starts, this winger has flourished and found his feet in English football after his development hit a wall a couple of years ago, and that's exactly the kind of player that QPR should be picking up. There's clearly great potential here waiting to be unlocked, which started under Critchley and could double under Martí Cifuentes. We've paid another decent fee for Dembele, but if he can get close to realising his potential, we will make a profit on him in the future. And as I so often say, that has to be the model for this club going forwards. Looking at how he performed last season, he's exactly the kind of Willock replacement we need, and if he can progress again this season, it looks like we can have a real threat down our right this time rather than solely relying on Chair down the left. And from the looks of how he plays, I think Chair is going to love playing with him. Obviously, the other huge positive is that despite being just 21 years old, this is a player who's been involved in senior football for 8 years now. That's a great foundation of experience to build on, and it's going to prepare him a lot better than most for England's second tier. In case you can't tell, I think this is a very exciting signing, and I cannot wait to see how Karamoko gets on in the blue and white hoops. So over to you, what do you think about this signing? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit like and subscribe. It helps me to reach more people and grow the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers!